joining me today at this Premade Fan Workshop. Today we will be talking about the differences between normal Russian volume and Premade fans. We will also cover topics like how to choose the correct volume to your client, how to correctly isolate, and how to pick the right amount of glue for the Premade fans. After completing this course, you will know how to apply a full fluffy volume set in just half of the time. At the end of this video, we will show you exactly the difference in time between completing a normal volume set and a volume set using Premade fans. Stay tuned!
So first thing we need to answer is what actually are Premade fans. Premade fans are multiple synthetic lashes that are joined together in a V shape, and we call it a volume fan. The amount of lashes in a fan will indicate how fluffy and big the fan will be and will also influence the final effect of your set. There are different Premade fans available on the market. They may differ in the way they are created and the final look of the fan. London Lash Premade fans have a square slim base that is perfect to create a very good attachment with natural lashes. The leg of the fan is slightly longer to give a perfect attachment, however, the fan is still wide enough to give you a fluffy, nice effect. Our Premade fans are still handmade, however, all the hard work is already done for you in the factory, so you can save the time during the appointment. After the fan is created, it is then baked in a special machine to keep the shape. Thanks to that, the fans will not be closing after a few weeks of wearing them, especially that you can notice that when your client has an oily skin. As there is almost no glue used during the fan creation, there is no risk of double dipping. Thanks to that, you still get a beautiful and slim base.
In this chapter, I want to tell you a little bit more about the difference between Premade fans and handmade fans. As we explained before, Premade fans are also handmade, but they're just made for you in the factory. They come nicely packaged in a box, and usually one box will be enough to do 2 clients. Visually, when your clients see the final result, there is no difference for them. The main difference is for us lash technicians. The main difference is the amount of time you will spend completing one full set. Handmade Russian volume fans take quite a lot of time to perfect, and of course, if you are a very experienced lash technician, it may take you a second or maximum 2 seconds to create a handmade fan. For lash artists that don't do volume sets on a daily basis or who are new to volume, might find Premade fans an excellent tool to help them complete the volume sets in just half the time. Premade fans have come a really long way since they were first introduced on the market. Back in the days, they had really bulky and thick bases, and they were really heavy with a lot of extra unnecessary glue. Today, even the most experienced lash artists can sometimes struggle to tell the difference between Premade fans and handmade fans. This is because with today's technology, Premade fans have very beautiful slim bases, have absolutely minimum amount of glue holding the fans together, and they are very perfectly curated. Another thing to bear in mind is that Premade fans are not the same thing as clusters. Clusters have awfully thick bases, and it's almost impossible to isolate the natural lash for clusters. Cluster lashes are definitely not anything we would recommend to wear or use on your clients. So how do you tell the difference between Premade fan and a cluster? Premade fan looks just like your handmade fan. Cluster, if it has a thick, bulky base, and it really looks like something that will damage your client's lashes.
Love them or hate them, but Premade fans are the sign of the times. The industry is changing, and so should we. Now is the time to think about your client. Yes, you're right, it's all about your client, not about yourself. We understand that you probably spend a lot of time and money learning complicated volume techniques, different ways of making volume fans, or complicated styling. It's all perfect. However, we should now think about our client. Maybe your client is unwell, maybe she's pregnant, or maybe she simply doesn't have time to lie down on a bed for 4 hours and wait until we create our beautiful and volume set. That's right. So if we can give her something that will speed up the treatment time, why not to give it to her? Remember, a happy client is a returning client. Another important aspect to remember is that time is money, and Premade Fans will help you save both. Our Premade Fans are made of dark and black fiber that give you exactly the same result as handmade fans.
Let's see now a comparison between handmade and Premade Fan. As you can see, the fans are exactly the same, so your client will not see any difference.
So why not to spend this time to have another client, do some admin work that you never have time to do, or simply spend time with your family? If you can promise your client the exact same result in a shorter period of time, you should definitely consider upping up your prices. I know, we know, and you know that there are loads of clients that will be happy to pay more if they can have the exact same effect in a shorter period of time. Consider that. In the next chapter, we'll be talking about how to price your work using Premade Fans. You should also remember that the industry is changing, and so should you. However, using Premade Fans doesn't mean that you are not a skilled lash artist anymore. The importance of cleaning, priming, isolation, or using the glue still stands. We understand that after completing different Russian volume courses, it can be a little bit frustrating that now Premade Fans are available on the market. However, try to consider it as something that will up your lash game rather than make it worse. Premade Fans only skip one step. You still need to have all the valuable knowledge about pre- and post-treatment.
In this chapter, we will talk about how to choose the correct volume for your clients without damaging their natural lashes. When moving on to volume lashes, it is extremely important that we will not overload our clients' natural lashes. Volume lashes are well known to be a bit lighter and softer and less damaging version of those thick and heavy classic lashes with 0.20s that we used to do. But this only applies if you're knowledgeable about the weight and the volume you can apply to your client depending on the thickness and condition of their own natural lashes. Before we jump into the mathematical formula that helps you determine how many lashes you can put on one natural lash, let's quickly have a look what thicknesses are being used in volume eyelash extensions. Let's start from the thickest one. 0.10 lashes are a beautiful selection for natural classic as well as natural volume sets. We normally would avoid using more than 2 0.10 lashes in one fan. This means that you can use 0.10 lashes for 2D extensions. 0.07 thickness lashes are perhaps the most popular and commonly used thicknesses for volume extensions. 0.07 lashes are suitable anywhere between 2D to 5D extensions. Now, before you pause this video and go and try 5D lashes with 0.07 thickness on your client, please hang on. We'll still need to talk about the weight and volumetric calculation. 0.05 lashes are very versatile and can be used for various different looks. You can use 0.05 lashes to create super soft and wispy 2D, 3D sets, and you can also use 0.05 for mega volume on stronger natural lashes. There are also 0.04 and 0.03 thickness lashes, which are both used only for mega volume fans. Now let's move to choosing the right volume for your client. If you already know how to choose a classic extension based on your client's natural lashes, that's a great start. We are going to use the thicknesses of classic lashes as a reference point to compare the weight of volume fans. There is a special mathematical formula that we have come up with that will help us determine how thick volume we can use on our clients. The formula that we use is going to look at the diameter of the classic lash, and will help you understand how many of smaller diameter extensions would fit inside this classic lash if it was empty. As lash artists don't have to be mathematicians, we have done all these calculations for you and have put the numbers in the table. Based on that, you can see which volume fans equal one classic extension. Considering that the maximum we want to put on a healthy and strong natural lash is 0.15, the absolute maximum of volume you can use with different thicknesses are 2D for 0.10, 4-5D for 0.07, 6D for 0.06, 9D for 0.05, 14D for 0.04, and well, if you want to go really mega volume, you can do up to 25D in 0.03s if you want to match the classic thickness of 0.15. Of course, these calculations are average, and you still want to consider whether 0.15 is really good option for your client's natural lashes. Just so you can see how many D lashes you want to put on one natural lash, if you would like to use a thinner classic extension, we have put another table on the screen for your reference.
Although Premade fans are speeding up your work, there are still a few important things to remember about. One of them is working with layers. The easiest way to work with layers is to simply place the longer lashes on a bottom layer, on a middle layer one size shorter, and on a top layer one size shorter. This way, when your client will open up her eyes, she will have a beautiful top line.
Now let's see how to do mapping working with layers. So let's draw a simple mapping. For example, we'll do squirrel. So we draw the mapping exactly the same as you would normally do. And then on the other side, and normally we would draw the numbers in here. However, we need to think how we will place those numbers, so lengths in layers. So normally, let's say you would choose the longest length as 12, then you would do 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6, and exactly the same in here, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6. However, as we were discussing a bit earlier, when we work with layers, we would like this number, so the longest number, to be at the bottom layer. So then our mapping will look exactly like here. 12 would be the bottom layer, 11 will be a middle layer, and 10 will be top layer. And we do accordingly in here. 11 will be bottom layer, 10 middle, 9 on top. 10 on the bottom, 9 in the middle, 8 on the top. So this way you can draw all the mapping for all the lengths. It will be easier for you to remember where to put which length when you work with layers.
To help yourself working with layers, you can use a simple trick with a tape. Simply tape the lashes up to make the bottom layer more visible. After you finish lashing the bottom layer, using tweezers, take out another layer of lashes. Lash this layer and do the following again. Simply with the tweezers, remove another layer of natural lashes. This way you will ensure that you work slowly, layer by layer, considering the size you need to use.
In this chapter, we will quickly talk about isolation. As we said before, using Premade Fans is not skipping the basic knowledge. We still need to make sure we apply eyelash extensions in a safe way. We will not have any stickies and we will not glue any extensions together. When you work with Premade Fans, you work with lashes that literally fan out a little bit more than you might be used to when you're working with classic lashes. Therefore, it's even more important that you take some time and make sure that you do not have stickies. In order for us to isolate, always use very good pointy tweezers and take time to isolate. When you apply a Premade fan, keep your isolation tweezers in place just for a second and ensure that the adhesive has really dried before you let them go. Of course, it may always happen, even with the most experienced masters, that we do get a few stickies throughout our work. That's why we want to always spend at least 5 minutes, up to 15 minutes, checking through every single lash for stickies. We will not leave stickies. We didn't leave stickies doing classic lashes. We don't leave stickies doing volume lashes, and we do not leave stickies when we use Premade Fans. Please look after your clients' natural lash health and check for stickies.
The key to successful attachment is the amount of glue and fan placement. You can attach the fan from top or bottom of the natural lash. What's important to remember that at least 2 mm of the base should be dipped in a glue. The longer the extension, the longer the base should be. This way you will ensure that you will have a perfect attachment. When considering the attachment point, you should make sure that the whole base is lying flat on the natural lash. If it's popping up or crisscrossing, you will not get a perfect attachment. It is crucial to remember the distance from the eyelid. When you're a beginner, the distance can be maximum 1 mm. If you're an experienced lash artist, we do recommend half of the millimeter as the distance from the eyelid. Please remember, but I'm sure you already know it, that the lashes should never be attached to the skin, as this may cause a severe allergic reaction or simply irritation. When dipping the fan in a glue, make sure you scoop it slightly in an upwards motion. This way you will ensure you have enough glue to wrap nicely around the natural lash.
Let me show you now the incorrect way of dipping the fan in a glue. Here you can see a bit too quick motions and you have a little bubble of the glue. And here there was not enough glue to hold the fan. So let's see one more time in slow motion the correct way of dipping the fan in the glue. Slow, upward motion. Now let's prepare our palette. As you can see, Premade fans come in a big box in which you have few different sizes, so from 7 mm to 13. As this is a mixed size box, you will have few different strips of the same size. Now simply using your tweezers, unstick the strip and stick it to your palette. Now select another size and stick it. Follow the same steps until you place all the sizes you would like to use on your palette. If you would like to remove the strip from your palette, simply peel it gently with your tweezers. The back of the strip has a special foil that doesn't leave any marks on your palette. This way you keep it nice and clean. Our palette is ready, so now let's grab volume tweezers and learn how to pick up the fans. As you can see, you need to hold your tweezer a bit below the middle so you have a nice and firm grip. To pick up the fan, open your tweezers and grab the fan in the middle. As you can see, we are grabbing the fan just by its middle. This way, when you pick it up, you don't destroy it. Grab it and peel towards yourself. Let me show you now the incorrect way of picking up the fan. Here, too high up, not strong enough grip, or squeezing too much. So one more time the correct way. Grab in the middle and gently peel towards yourself. When you peel it, it doesn't change its shape. Right in the middle and gently peel.
Now you know all the secrets about Premade Fans. Here is a quick recap about pre-treatment, which we are sure you know already. To make sure that your client's lashes will be lasting and you will have a great retention every single time, it is important to take time during a pre-treatment. The first thing to remember is that if your client will come to her appointment with some makeup on, make sure you will give her some makeup wipes to remove the current makeup. Alternatively, you can do a lash bath using a foam lash shampoo. This way, by using a gentle foam, you will remove all traces of makeup, any oils or dust that may be around the lash line. After successfully removing all the makeup, now is the time to prepare the lashes when the client is lying down on the bed. For that, you can use protein remover pads that are gentle but still effective in removing any little traces of makeup and refreshing the eye area. I personally even use them when the client has no makeup on, just to ensure that all the eye area is perfectly clean. After you wipe the lashes with protein pads, now is the time to apply eye patches. After successfully placing the eye patches, use 2 micro brushes and take a drop of cleanser. Cleanser, that is an alcohol-based product, will help you to demoisturize the natural lashes and remove any oils. Simply, by using 2 micro brushes, go around all the lash line, making sure that you cover all the roots. After using a cleanser, take another 2 clean micro brushes and use primer. Again, use 1 drop of primer and then go around all the natural lashes. By using a primer, we bring the moisture back to the natural lashes, making sure that the glue will polymerize properly.
Now I want to talk to you about pricing your work when you use Premade Fans. We have done a little bit of market research and found out that an average price of a Premade fan in the industry is 8p. London Lash Premade fans are 4p per fan. So this is half the price of normal fan in the market. Also in London Lash, we have 400 to 420 fans per 1 pack. And this means that 1 box of lashes will last you for 2 clients. Yes, of course, Premade fans are a little bit more expensive than normal lashes, but this is because it takes a lot more time to make them in the factory. We have been discussing pricing your work using Premade fans with our trainers, ambassadors, and business partners. All of them have agreed that they have actually increased the price of their work when they use Premade fans. An average that most of our partners increase their work by is £20. At the same time, they are decreasing the amount of time they spend on one client. For example, they would normally spend 2.5 hours or 3 hours creating a full set of volume lashes. And now it takes them about 1 hour to 1.5 hours to create the same set using Premade fans. For a lot of clients, time is money, and they are willing to pay a little bit extra if they can save time on the treatment. And for you, it's a great opportunity to spend less time doing lashes and use a little bit more time planning your marketing, doing your admin, or spending time with your family. whatever is important for you. I'm not saying that everyone must always use Premade fans or always use handmade fans, but I think it is a good idea to consider giving your clients the opportunity to choose between a faster treatment and a slower treatment. Just because you think your clients want to lie down for longer doesn't mean that they really do. Ask them and find out.